Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show Celeb Talks on a platform of excellence online. Today I feel very fortunate to have Mr. Danny Khursigara as my guest. Mr. Danny Khursigara, you might have seen him as a TED speaker and speaking about purposeful life. My first introduction to him was recently in a CFO conference where he delivered an exceptional motivational speech to the young community of CFOs. He has also written an award-winning bestseller, Road to Success, which he co-authored with Mr. Jack Canfield. His another book, which is in my hand, is also a bestseller, which was introduced just last year this month in New York. He has also been named as Top 100 Authority by Influence magazine. He is highly sought after success coach, and he has also co-produced a documentary Soul of Success, which was nominated for Emmy Awards. The things I share in common with Mr. Danny is that he also started his career in chartered accountancy with PwC. After that, he has served around 20 years in the banking industry in the roles of CFO and COO with RBS in Japan, Philippines, Hong Kong and China, until he decided to dedicate his life to inspire and transform lives of other people with a vision to touch 50,000 lives in 5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Danny Khursigara.
Thank you, Shehzad.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a big honor to be here and have this conversation with you.
Thank you. So nice of you. So this show is to motivate the young generation, especially the students community. So my questions would be mainly on the motivational side.
Okay.
And the passion to inspire the passion in the young community. So let me start with a basic question that you have been in the banking and finance industry, and you've seen the roles of CFO and COO in various countries including China, Japan, Hong Kong. So my first question would be, what led you to leave your chartered accountancy and CFO role and start afresh in the new field as a motivational and executive coach?
Okay. It's a good question. Many people ask me this question too. And I think for me it was not necessarily looking at a job or a business. I was doing executive coaching even when I was in my corporate life. So I started doing this more than 10 years ago because I used to enjoy it. And I brought it in my company. I was doing it with people outside my company in China and Japan, but that was more because I was having fun with it, not necessarily as a business. So I always had this my own dream of having my own business sometime, right? But I did not know what was the right time. And then what happened is that RBS, they decided to move out of Asia Pacific and focus on Scotland and the UK markets. So when I finished my assignment with China, the option was either I have to go to UK or I leave the bank and start do something of my own. So I decided to go back to Hong Kong because I had 1 year for my residency in Hong Kong that was left. So I said I want to go back to Hong Kong and maybe I'll start looking for another job or start my business. I wasn't sure. But then when I got to Hong Kong, I said this is the right thing to do. I want to start my business and it's been my dream, so why not just do it? So I started my business there, and while I was growing my business, I was also looking at the banking market, looking for roles, seeing if there are good roles around there or not. But what happened is that slowly my business started taking off much faster, and I said, wow, this is pretty good. Why not focus my energies on that? So that's how I kind of started growing over the last couple of years. And I found that, bringing my banking real knowledge and experience with clients with whom I do executive coaching with is really powerful because you come with real life experience, and then when you work with leaders you can really relate to what they are saying and how you can help them go to the next level. And this has always been my passion. So, I think I'm in the right place at the right time.
That's excellent. Wonderful. I have seen one of your program on as a speaker on TED Talk.
Yes.
So in that, the main topic was that you were discussing about purposeful life, the life with a purpose. So I would like to know whether is it important that one should have his why factor and he should follow his why factor.
I find that people when they have discovered the life purpose, life tends to become a little bit more easier. It tends to become a little more effortless. Just imagine, I think I gave this example in the conferences, that if Michael Jackson was a chartered accountant, people would not know his name, right? So that's exactly what it is. So when you uncover what you're meant to do, that's really powerful, because that's the reason why you are here. That's the reason why you're here. Look at your founder of the nation, Quaid-e-Azam, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, right? His purpose was to bring Pakistan into existence, right? Just imagine if he never did that, he would not have actually lived his purpose. So basically, I believe all of us have it, and it doesn't have to be something very big.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be like life-changing. No, it could be something really small. It doesn't matter. You could be a musician, you could be a doctor, you could be an accountant. Whatever brings you joy and whatever you think is your core purpose. Once you uncover that, I find that people's lives become much easier and more fulfilling. That's why I say success without fulfillment is the ultimate mistake.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's not. Well, it is necessary and not. It doesn't have to be the same thing. But when I look at habits, I say that we make our habits, and then our habits make us.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever habit a habit is something you do for a certain period of time, right? People say that sometimes like 22 days, 30 days, 60 days, if you do the same thing, it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
I personally, in my experience, I've noticed that if you do something for 30 days, then it tends to become a habit. So it's always better to have more empowering habits. Something that help you grow, something that help you progress. Because the definition of success is progress, because progress brings momentum, momentum brings results.
Yeah.
So what habits tends to do is, it gives you the momentum, right? So for me, what I personally like to do is in the morning when I wake up, I would do my 1-minute prayer. I would think of 10 things to be very grateful for, and really grateful for, not just intellectually, but really feel, I wake up, I can breathe, I'm living in a nice place, I've got my kids, my family with me, there's sunshine, I can wear good clothes and go out for work. And so the small things, right? You just be grateful for. What happens is that in the morning, your mind is empty. So you want to feed it good information. You want to give it empowering information. You don't want to stress out. Yeah? And you don't want to check your phone too much as well. So when you wake up and you do that, and I feel that morning is the time where I get the best ideas. So I write my ideas on my shower stall usually.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, wonderful.
My family used to think I'm going crazy before, but I just have this idea of writing on my shower stall. And I take my shower, I do my prayer, my meditation. I meditate every day for 20 to 30 minutes. I do my exercise, and then I'm ready. Now you might think, yaar, itni sari cheezein kaise ho sakti hai? Lekin actually it just takes less than an hour. But 1 ghante mein you're almost done with all these things. So, and then you're ready for the day. And the benefit of that is that when you start your day, your energy level is very different. Your energy level is that high. And when you're in a leadership position, people can feel your energy. They can see, wow, I want to work with this guy. Or kabhi kabar, even if you have, say, some bad news or something doesn't work out, you can find your center very quickly, because you've started your day with a very empowering intention. So these small habits, if you practice it daily, it leads to quantum growth. That's just my observation. So really, I find that's really, really important.
See, for example, if a person discovers his life purpose in his mid-40s and he's deciding for a mid-career change, and a complete paradigm shift. So do you think the society and the environment would be accepting, and would it be suitable for him to decide after say 40-45 years when he has already spent almost 50% of his life or more?
Gee, that's a very good question. Actually, many people, ask these questions, and it's a good question to ask, because I think there is no real age where you can, it's about asking the right questions, and there's no real age where you can start discovering your own purpose, uncovering your own purpose. There was a book written by an Australian nurse who was a hospice. Like, people are dying, there's a caretaker who sits with them, and she wrote that all her old age people who were dying, before they died, she would ask the question, what is your biggest regret in life? Just to see what they are thinking. And she said 99% of the people, nobody regretted what they had done.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they say they all regretted what they did not do. I wish I had followed my passion. I wish I had opened the business. I wish I had spent more time with the family. I wish I had done this. I wish I had played the guitar. I wish I had traveled more in the world. So they talked about things they did not do, not the things that they did. Very interesting, right? So I think there is no real age, and there's something I teach in my seminars. It's called leaning into it. Leaning into it is a concept which means that if you are passionate about something and if you've never done it, leaning into it means let's try it out. Let's see how it goes. You don't have to leave everything. You don't have to quit the job. You don't have to quit the relationship. You don't have to leave your country and start become a monk on a mountain. You don't have to do that. It's just leaning into it means let's try and see how it feels. Yeah, maybe. Like for me, I liked doing executive coaching. I liked to empower people. I started doing it 10 years ago when I was already in my normal day-to-day life. I just wanted to see how I feel about it. So leaning into it is a very powerful concept, so that when you want to make a shift or when you want to change something, you are 100% sure that this is what you want to do. Because sometimes what happens is if people make a very drastic decision, they might say, yeah, my finances have gone down, or probably that was better, ye maine kya mistake kar li, ya maine galat decision le liya. But when you are leaning into it, you can always try out and see how it feels. Is it good? And can I have an amazing life? Can I be fulfilled? And once you get that answer, then it's an easier decision to make. So I always kind of advise people, or when I even teach people, I say lean into it and see if it's something very different. And I'll give an example. I had one of my clients, and she's the president of a company called Loewe. It's a Louis Vuitton group company, and she's a very senior woman. And she basically, her passion and purpose was basically very much fixed to property, real estate. And she said, since I was a kid, I loved real estate. So I said, okay, but why didn't you do anything about it? She said, never at the time. Education said you have to follow a corporate life. My parents said, no, go into corporate. I did that. I became very successful, but I don't feel, as though I'm really fulfilled. So she started, getting more interested in property along with her career. She was already in a career, and she started doing property work. And in the last 18 months, she purchased 8 properties in 8 different countries in the world. And she tells me now that in 5 years she can retire because her passive income is almost equal to her active income. So you see, so that's the power of purpose and passion, that you can actually have fun while doing it. So it's not stress, it's not effort, it's more fun. So everybody likes to have fun when they are, if you can have fun and earn money, what's better than that? So I think that you can always make that change, you can always make that choice, and you don't always have to listen to what other people around you are telling you. In fact, I think that when you do something and people are criticizing you, which means you're probably doing something right. Right? That's my belief. Because, what happens is after a few years, they will do exactly the same thing that you're doing now.
There are so many students of mine, and there are some colleagues as well. They ask me about, for example, if they choose a field like chartered accountancy, they are looking at some revenue, some income source, some income stream. And sometimes they don't follow their own passion, for example, becoming a pilot, because they compare the income generated through the salary of a pilot would be much less than the salary of a chartered accountant. So, which means they are not following their passion. So, what would be your advice to them?
Yeah, well, dekhe, if you are 100% confident in the belief that you can be the best pilot in Pakistan, आप बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा बना सकते हो उससे. Technically, top pilots make a lot of money. I have friends who work for Cathay Pacific and they are captains and they've been there for many years. They are doing, mashallah, quite well in different airlines as well. But again, it's a choice you make. ठीक है ना, आपने अगर आपको चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी भी आपने की है तो आपने कोई तो कुछ तो पैशन होगा ना आपने किया है. Because if you do something just for money, after 10 years आपको वो feeling in you again, you will not be effective in your job, even if you are a qualified chartered accountant, right? So मैंने खुद ने chartered accountancy मैंने complete नहीं की है, लेकिन मैंने खुद ने CA शुरू किया था, फिर I became a CFO and all of that without actually qualifying, but I enjoyed what I was doing at that point in time. उसके बाद when I said I wanted to do something different, so I started doing something different. So what I would suggest people to do is that, let things unfold. Unfold होने दें. If your priority is कि भाई I want a very a substantial living right now, and this is what I really want to do. I want to do a chartered accounting thing and want to go into finance. Well, that's not a bad choice, but you should be okay to let go of your passion. Yeah, because हमारी society एक belief हमारे पे क्रिएट करती है कि अगर आप इस प्रोफेशन में जाएंगे तो आप बहुत सक्सेसफुल होंगे, उस प्रोफेशन में जाएंगे तो ये नहीं होगा, which I kind of always don't agree with, because I think if you are fully committed with passion into what you want to do, you can make a big success out of it. That's what I believe. Yeah, but you always have a choice what you want to do. So to your students, if they are really 100% certain that this is my passion, this is what I really, really want to do, I say just go for it. You live only once.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Yeah, आप करे जाए, क्यों नहीं? Why can't you be great in what you're doing, and you will make a lot of money? Why not? So that's what I've seen happen.
Amazing piece of advice.